you talk to students, you go out. I go out and visit schools a lot of the time, and do art and with the students and talk about literacy, and you end up doing all kinds of stuff, and you're like, I have a whole business here, and it all started because you wanted to draw. I wanted to draw characters and tell stories. And it became a whole thing, and that's possible. It's not impossible to do that. And the other thing too, I mean, it's not like it was very smooth. I mean, I was working as an artist before I went to art school. I didn't know that any better. I was, I just thought you could just do it. I didn't know any better. And I went to art school and I learned. Then I got, the tools I needed to know, and then I got even better. And then you just kind of build, and then you have to take part-time jobs, and I remember having like 3 part-time jobs, still trying to meet deadlines, and then thinking that everything I do, no matter what, even if I have to work 3 part-time jobs, well, I was working in bookstores and libraries because I like books. And I'm thinking, well, everything I'm doing ties together somehow. It's like raw material to put into my art or my books. Oh, did it freeze? Oh no, okay.
Oh, you're still here. We got you.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah, so no matter what you're doing, to me it was like research. If I'm working in the bookstore, I'm doing research. I didn't worry about, that I was taking, that it wasn't going as fast as I wanted it to go. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So anyways, it's a really fun business to be in, a really fun job to have. I mean, this is my studio where you can see, and this is the entire 3rd floor of my house now. And I'm here. Well, that's the other thing. You don't really get vacations. But then you're having so much fun, you don't really think about it. My husband knocks on the door. Okay, can you take a break now? Because I'm, usually just enjoying working on a project or something, talking with other artists.
That was good.
Yeah, did you have a question?
Yeah, I was wondering what some of the things, when you made the leap to freelance, what were some of the things you did to connect with potential clients, kind of starting from scratch?
I work in children's book. I mean, I was pretty clear. That's what I do. I was working in advertising, and they kept giving the company that I worked. I got a job as a designer, and they kept giving me all the bookstore projects. Which was nice because they knew I was an illustrator, so they kept giving me all the art projects. I thought, oh, that's so. I kind of got from that. I think, okay, they know I'm an illustrator, so if I'm not here, maybe I'll get other clients too because they've seen me, where they know me. It's not a huge community, really. And so I started doing that, and then I had joined the Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators, and they make a book of all the publishers, and then they kind of have side information about publishers and editors. And so I went through that, and I went through the list. I looked them all up. That wasn't the internet, so I had to actually go to the library, get all their books, look at what they do, see where I fit, and then took a long time. And then I just sent out stuff and just started sending out stuff. And I just assumed it would be okay. And it was. I mean, it really was. And then I joined, like I said, I joined a couple of other groups. I joined a group of cartoonists in Seattle. Yeah, people to talk to. And I met, while I was there, this group, they were putting out stuff in the local area in Seattle, and an editor from National Lampoon magazine saw some of my work. He says, oh, you're a cartoonist and you're a girl. There wasn't a lot of female cartoonists. There's like 5 something where I lived, right? And so she asked me to be in a book project that she was working on, right? And so just things happen like that. It's like things out of the blue happen. And for some reason, I wasn't scared. I just figured, well, I just will keep doing it and keep sending out stuff. And for some reason, I had 10 jobs all the time. It just worked out that way. Of course, like I said, I was working at it all the time. I didn't. I was either socializing with my artist friends, working in my studio. That's it. Never had time to ride my bike or do anything else. It was just that's just It, and it continued. It just has grown like that throughout the whole career. And then it keeps changing. Like, there'll be times where there's been times where it seems really slow, and then I make my own projects. I go, all right, well, I have, it's gotten really slow. There's not as much work going on in this area, so I'll work on my own project and send that out. And I said I try to have multiple things going on all the time. So there's always something coming up, something being finished, and I'm constantly trying to find. And then about 10 books, I got not knowing, totally just doing it myself. I got an agent called me and asked me if I would like, some help in that department. And I thought, maybe, So she did a lot of that stuff that I was doing. Like, she was doing the ads and sending out all the, marketing stuff and negotiating contracts. So I didn't have to worry so much about it. But, I ended up really missing that part of it. And now I don't have an agent anymore. I like to have that relationship with the editor and negotiate stuff with the finance department, because I took finance. I know a lot of that stuff. So I can debate with them maybe better than they're used to. Because I took class, and they don't want to hurt your feelings either. They're in the accounting department. They're talking with the artist. So I like the part about the relationships. I like having a relationship with everyone there. I just like that part, and I didn't think of it so much as I'm trying to sell myself or all that. I thought of it as, this is something we all love, and we love books, and we're like partners in it. Does that make sense? Yeah, I know some people don't like that part of it, but now if I'm making, I don't know, tires, I may not feel that way, about it. This is different. This is something that I'm just so passionate about, that, and it's nice to be with people who have the same passion. They want it to work out. And that, when you're working on a book, whether you're the illustrator or you're the illustrator and the writer, you're still part of a team. You're not completely. It's not just you. I mean, you are part of the picture. And you got to work as a team with everyone. And you're not, but you have to know, you learn how to stand up for things that you don't want to change. Accept that you not like sometimes, give and take about different things. With they want to take out your favorite picture that you killed yourself to finish. It doesn't work, and you're like, and now you can push the issue and make it work, but is that the right thing? Maybe not. And then you have a nice story to tell about it later whenever you're signing books, and then you can sell that original. All kinds of, I don't know. It's just the part about being a good partner and help and work. Sit more, Just, it makes it more fun, and it shows that you can get along really well and still hold true to your values about your project. Printing is a whole other thing. I have never been able to come to terms with, because you do all this work, and then a lot of times it goes to the printer. A lot of things don't get printed. They get printed overseas now, which is not that's bad. It's just that you can't go over now and see the proofs like you used to be able to go. And they would send you proofs. You could go and look at the proofs, before it goes to print. And now you never even know about it. You just get the book in the mail, and you're like, oh, the color is not. I didn't use that color anywhere in my book. And nobody else is going to know that. No one else. Everyone's thinking, oh, well, we love how you love turquoise. And you're like, oh, God. I don't even have turquoise in my palette. Stuff like that happens all the time, and you just have to it's another version of your work. So that's just another thing you have to accept. I have had a hard time with it, I have to say, because I used to be able to, because I worked as a designer where you would get the color, you would have say over the, you tell them how to adjust it just right so it was exactly the color before it went to print, and no, it's not like that. Maybe somewhere it is. I hope so for somebody, but yeah, hardly ever. And then you get some people. Sometimes they do